Hey guys, finally getting the truck in for the recall. The fuel pump. It's been only, well over 2 years. Anybody that's followed this channel, I just finally, as I've mentioned in several videos recently, I finally called down there, and they had some in. I don't know why the dealer didn't call me. I'm not surprised, but I was able to get in today, which was, I called yesterday. So I'm going to take you guys with me and do my video on the way down there. But I'm taking the rammer in, finally getting that fuel pump. I'm so happy because I've been babying this thing with keeping over a half tank of gas, you know, the whole number, warming up the pump and the whole deal. So, you know, God willing, I can make it down there without, you know, I'm not even going to say it. I don't even want to go there. But, no, it's been doing good. I got 481 just as we're rolling out the driveway here to head down to the dealership. And we recently did a small tow. The shop, it's got its new roof on it, and which is great. I peeked up there. It is brand spanking new, looks wonderful. Still need to just test it, you know, go camping, and then I guess wait for a rainstorm. It's the only way you can really test it. But yeah, and got basically a new awning as well. And I will, next time I'm back out at storage, I will probably either do a quick video from out there. Shoot, I might just do the full video from out there next time I go out, and just show you everything that was repaired and replaced. And again, I'm just glad things are finally moving. I felt like everything was kind of stagnating while everything was in for repair. Here I go back in for repair on the truck again. But I say this all the time on these videos. This is the time when we do the repairs on not only our equipment or vehicles. You know, sometimes you can't wait on major stuff. I get that, but then we try to take care of our health care at the same time. You know, anything that we may need done, we try and get it done in these kind of late spring, summer months. Out west here, it gets pretty warm to be camping anyways. But yeah, everything is going good. Last time we did that quick tow from the RV repair to storage, did fine. Oh, also had some maintenance done. While I was in there and we were waiting all that time, I went ahead and had them pack the wheel bearings and inspect the brakes. Everything's looking good on the Grand Design, the reflection. They said the brakes are at 80%, so we're good there. The only thing that was a little wonky, when we hooked it up, I felt like, you know, we did the brake test, you know, from the checklist, and I had to crank up the gain in order for the brake to kick in. Leave a comment below. Maybe you're a mechanic or you know. I imagine they had to do some adjustments there on the brakes when they did the wheel packing on and off or whatever they had to do there. So it caused for the gain to go up. It caused for me to have to turn up the gain. I think I turned it up to around 8 or 9 to get it to engage, which, you know, here on the rammer, I've never had to turn it that high to get you know, when I throw the trailer brake to engage. So not sure on that one. Bottom line, it was working. I thought I was going to have to grab a mechanic on our way out, one of those deals again. But so yeah, again, I'm heading down here to get this fuel pump. How about you guys? Have you guys had a lot of fuel pump? Are you guys all getting your fuel pumps done? Are you guys still waiting? What's your situation? It's been so long now. I've done videos on this recall. Well, actually, there's 2 recalls today. One is that fuel pump, that CP. I think we're getting a CP4 from a CP3. And the other one's the inspection on the tailgate, which I just been waiting for. I figured that wasn't that big of a deal. So they're going to do that today too. Hopefully I can get it all done today. I guess we'll see. I may have to leave it overnight, and that's fine. I just want them to get it done. But yeah, so yeah, there's two recalls. I can't even remember the situation. There's something about the fuel pump going out. I know that for sure. So they kind of took their time to, I don't know, I guess there was due to COVID, there was quite a backlog in getting parts and whatnot. I believe it. I know there was a lot of different parts. I've heard about people trying to get, not only in automotive world, housing industry, computers, many different types of parts people trying to get that are just were backlogged, and some are still backlogged. You'll just get on a waiting list, and matter of fact, the awning was kind of one of them. They were actually pretty quick on that for the RV, but that's just it. This day and age, I guess, not all parts are readily available. Although they made it sound, when I called yesterday, the service writer made it sound like there was plenty of fuel pumps available type thing. So they went from basically nothing for a year, really 2 years. Well, probably a year and some change to get this thing done. Which that, especially if it is truly a safety situation, that's unacceptable. I mean, but again, I know they didn't have a ton of control over that, and I'm not saying that's the CP4 replacement, and don't quote me on that. I'll put it on the screen. I'm trying to do it from memory. Geez, this old brain just doesn't work sometimes, as you guys well know. Anyway, I'm not saying it was a fire hazard. I think it. I remember reading that. So, if it's a safety thing, they should really. I don't know what they would have to do if they can't manufacture the part. And I'm pretty sure they're getting them from overseas somewhere. To get it done faster. I don't know that much about the automotive industry and how they handle all that. I just know as a consumer, I try and, if I get the notice, I do go in. Sometimes it's not a right away. If it's a safety or a concern, something like that, I try and go fairly quickly. Anyhow, at least they're making it right now. Just as a kind of change of subject, I heard Ram is kind of hurting right now, that they are actually trying to redesign some of their trucks, and I don't know if that means they're trying to go electric. God, I hope not. Please don't ever do away with the Cummins and the Ram 2500s, the real towers that can tow 19,000 pounds plus. Ram, if you're listening, doubt you are, but if you do, please don't ever do with those. I get it. You got to design, better, more fuel efficient vehicles to keep them selling. I understand that part, but don't ever do away with the bigger trucks. There's a whole bunch of people who still need those and rely on them. And they're great trucks. You guys have done a great job on the, heavy duty line of trucks. Even the 1500s. My brother has a 1500. It's a great truck. It's a Bighorn as well. My brother-in-law has the Laramie, basically 2500 HD, 21, or was it a 22, I believe. And it's been great too. He loves that truck. So yeah, I know a few people. I've read comments. It's like any other vehicle. It's going to have its issues, and I understand that they got to keep up with the Chevys and the Fords, and redesign their line, make them more fuel efficient. I mean, geez Louise, with gas just blowing through the roof again. What do you guys think about that? Leave a comment. It's insane. I half the time I drive over to Sam's, and this is out west here, I was getting for $4 and some change, and I think at one point it got down to $4.45, which is, believe it or not, great for here. Arizona probably at the time was $3.25 or lower. if you're from Texas, wherever, chime in. But now it's up into 5 and some change again. It's just getting insane, and it almost doesn't make sense to even drive down there. I use the Gas Buddy app. I've done that before, and if I remember, I'll put it on the screen here, a little comparison to some of the gas stations from here to Arizona. I did that several months ago, and I think people really enjoyed that, just to see the comparison, especially if you are, you know, I know a lot of people last year actually got in their vehicle and did a lot of summer traveling, you know, and gas prices were already ticking up, and maybe people, I don't know if it's going to stop them this year from doing it, but you know, it'd be good to have a little comparison. Just be ready to open up your wallet if you're going to especially be towing out here, you know, your RV, or even if you're just taking your larger vehicle across country. Now the Ram actually does pretty good, even with the larger tires. I think I'm running 34s on here. Even with the 34s, I think I got up to around 19. I'll have to go back and look at that video. I might have gotten to 20 on a pretty flat road across the desert, not a lot of headwinds, that type of thing. So if you're not towing, you kind of do okay in the larger vehicle still. I mean, nothing like I don't know, a smaller vehicle would do. Maybe a small Chevy, you know, the little crossover things, they probably do better. I'm sure they're in the, I would hope they're at least in the lower 30s, if not mid 30s. A lot of those motors are pretty efficient. I've rented a few over the years, and they're just nice to see the improvements. I'm getting totally off subject here, but we rented one not too long ago that had the, I think it's the Ford Assist. I'm butchering the name. Cruise control. I think it's maybe reactive cruise control, something like that. Anyways, on those vehicles, if you guys don't know that, you can set the cruise control, and as you get close to something, somebody, whatever, it will start slowing you down. And it is a trip. It makes it enjoyable on long distances, though. And I wondered why I saw a lot of these vehicles out on the open road, kind of platooning, if you will, following each other fairly close. And I think a lot of them have this, whatever this advanced cruise control is. And we ran it across the desert, this last one, and it was great. Gas mileage was good. The cruise control was the best part, honestly. Anyhow, back on the travel trailer world. I'm sorry, fifth wheel and truck world towing. Used to be travel trailer. Anyhow, yeah, so our next trip is probably going to be the cruise, guys. I've mentioned it, but I'd really want to get back out and camping, and I mentioned it to the wife recently, and she is kind of not ready to go back out yet, so I have to wait to even bring that up again. It's gonna get hot here soon, and I know that's going to be a large part of it. I really wanted to try and get one more trip in, even if it was local here, just maybe a week. I really like the 2-weekers, as you guys know. 10 days is great, 2 weeks is better, and plus you get better prices at a lot of these parks. The last one we stayed at, it was, and I mentioned this before, but it was a difference from $35 a week, I think, to $50, 45 or 50. So that's pretty substantial per day. So if you can manage to stay longer, you know, you're gonna save. But I don't think it's gonna happen. We've had some repairs around the house. We had some appliances we had to switch out, washer and dryer. So yeah, you know, it kind of adds up, and the time of getting things repaired and taking care of not only everything I mentioned earlier, taking care of the house too. So no big deal. We did have a lot more camping this year. You look back a few videos fairly recently that kind of just wound down, and So I'm happy with that. We at least got out and had some good camping fun. Got away, felt like we had a good getaway, even though it's fairly close to home. It's within 20 miles. And, you know, we did that for a couple of reasons. We do that for a couple of reasons. It's obviously the obvious stuff like saving on fuel. But then if we do have to run home for something, we're fairly close and we can respond to that, you know, usually we can get there within, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes, that type of thing. We haven't had to do that a lot, but a lot of times we do take the dogs back once we get to a point where, you know, we're either breaking camp or we have someone coming out. It just makes it easier to, you know, do both those things, honestly, especially if we have, usually we'll have the three when we're close like this. We'll have the three dogs. So it's nice to have them, but it is a fair amount of work because we're constantly shuffling them in and out of the RV. You know, we're constantly having to rearrange them inside, that type of thing. We love them, don't get me wrong, but we do take a break every now and then, bring them home and let family member watch them, you know, just to get a break from them. We love them. Yep, still have four dogs, and usually my videos I'll show them playing in the backyard when we're not out camping. And they just love that. Honestly, I know there's some pet lovers out there. That is the highlight of their day, honestly, just being out in the backyard and playing and running and, you know, just doing everything they love to do, chasing their toys, and especially before it gets too hot. It's gonna get hot, probably. I'm guesstimating in the next few weeks. It's gonna be out west here. It's been fairly mild. It's usually by this time we've already seen some 90s and higher, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. We had a couple of 80 days, and I think probably the beginning of May, we're just going to crank up like a torch. And it does happen sometimes out here. We'll have a lot of rain, and it will kind of extend out into April, maybe May a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you're having to turn on the air conditioner. I mean, we try not to. It's so expensive even to do that. But when we do have, you know, when it gets too hot, you just honestly, you got to turn it on. It's, you know, don't suffer. I heard something the other day, if even at night you can overheat. So I don't know, all this climate stuff, but you know, it's good stuff. Again, I appreciate everybody. I don't do these videos all the time. You know, I do them only when I have something. And finally, I have something on the fuel pump replacement. Thank goodness. You know, people that's been on the channel a while, you know, this has been kind of a long haul. And again, this is partly my fault. I should have called sooner. Got busy with things and got some recalls on the other vehicle. But when I called yesterday, I about fell out of my chair. Honestly, they said they had a pump. So, and honestly, that I could get in the next day to get it done. That was great. So, I will keep you guys posted on how it goes today. You know, in my next video, maybe I'll try and do a smaller video and just tag on what happens today, so you guys don't have to wait a full month. Is usually my posting schedule. So yeah, I don't post all the time just to feed the algorithm. I do it just, you know, I think it's a better viewing experience for you guys, rather than me with a bunch of filler content that I don't know. I'm not knocking any of the YouTubers. They're great. There's some great channels, RV or TV, AB Camping. It's not actually, if you watch the AB Camping channel, he went on an RV trip. He rented a Class C out of Canada, and he did it in 3 parts. And if you have a chance, check out his channel and check out the RV one he just did. It's great. It's just really interesting to see how He's a fairly new into the RV world, and how where he finds the camp. I mean, beautiful scenery up there, and how he kind of goes about things, renting this thing and the places he stays, and he has some great content. He does cigar time at night, which I'd love to get to at some point. Got to buy some cigars first, right? But his cigar time is the best to me. He just really he keeps it real and tells you what's going on out in the world. And not to mention the great camping. Normally he's just out in New Zealand somewhere, way out in the middle of nowhere, and just camping with his tent and his dog. But this time it was just him. He couldn't bring his dog to Canada. But anyways, yeah, a couple different channels. So not knocking any of those. Check them out if you got time. It's all good stuff. But anyhow, guys, I'm getting close to the dealer. Thanks for going on this little journey with me over here to get this this done. And I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.